4 years ago, whistleblower Babita Deokaran was assassinated outside her Johannesburg home after exposing massive corruption at Tembisa Hospital. 6 men have been convicted for her murder, but those who ordered the hit remain at large. This anniversary serves as a stark reminder of the risks faced by public servants who stand up against corruption. This morning, we're joined by her brother-in-law, Tony Haripersad, to reflect on her life, her fight for integrity, and her enduring legacy. Tony, good morning to you. Welcome to the program. Thank you very much for making time for us. One can only imagine that even though the years passed, that wound is still fresh. Just talk to us about what you and the family are thinking about on the eve of this anniversary.
Good morning, Iman, to you and to the viewers. This morning, our family are reflecting on 4 years ago, the hurt and the pain that we endured at this tragedy that we did not expect on that fateful morning on the 23rd of August, 2021. 4 years has gone by now, Iman, and our family are still at great pain, and we are still hurting, and it is difficult for us to even think of closure besides finding closure, knowing that the masterminds are still out there at large, and no one has been brought to book yet. Justice has not been served. It has been a very painful 4 years for the Deokaran family.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're addressing something that I wanted to discuss with you, Tony, which is about, you know, when people raise their heads above the parapet to expose corruption, we have an outcome like that, which is bloody and a loss to her children and to all of you. It's a tough question to ask about whether, in hindsight, whether you think this was the right thing to have done. Obviously, in the context of exposing corruption and her courage, but as a family, parts of, of how you reflect on her existence and the sacrifice that you made, whether what ultimately happened would have been worth it. Do those discussions happen on a real level?
Oh, yes. Very frequently we talk about this. And I think, we come to realize that being a public servant is twofold. You either in the public domain or you serve in public service for the people to serve, with integrity and honesty and selflessly. And this is who Babita was. But, saying that there are also those in public service that are there for selfish gains. And Babita was definitely not one of those. Babita was a courageous person that had integrity, and she strived to do that which was right in her duties. And today, when we talk about this, we often question as to why did she not let the family know what she was involved in and what she was going through. And I think it's possibly because she realized that we would probably talk her out of this and talk her more about her own safety and putting herself first,
Yeah. Well, Tony, thanks for sharing that side of things, because, I mean, it is, and realistically, it's such a tough conversation to have, because you sit this morning in a family where there is a massive vacuum left behind, and we have, over the last few years, reflected on just, and maybe take us back there, Tony, to who she was as, as a sister-in-law, as a mother, as a sister.
Babita was a very integral part of our family. She was known to be the life of the party. If there was any celebratory event or any other event that was happening in the family, Babita was the go-to person. She was totally engaged with every member of the family, on the level of her siblings and the level of her nieces and her nephews, grandchildren as well, her sisters and brothers' grandchildren. So Babita was totally engaged in the family, and she took pride in keeping the family together, and to miss a person like that is a big void in our family. Today, when we, even up to now, when we have family gatherings or special events in the family, she is missed. She is sorely missed very, very dearly.
Oh, Tony, that's just really just so sad, hey? Even with the passage of time, it doesn't blunt the wound. If you had the chance, and this is an enduring question, and we'll talk about your appeal to the president directly, but if you had the chance to speak to those, what we're calling the masterminds, those who ordered this killing on Babita, what would you say to them? Would you even want to talk to them?
No, definitely. The question that we would want to know is, how are they living within themselves now? How are they living with themselves? Knowing that they've done such a gruesome thing. They have robbed a child of her mother, and the child's entire life has been derailed. And it hurts us to watch her grow. She's such a fine, strong young woman, intelligent young woman who's now in university. But it still hurts us to know that her mother, who meant the world to her, is not with her anymore. And the question that I would like to ask the mastermind or the perpetrators is, how are they living with themselves, knowing that they have caused this hurt, pain, and tragedy, this enormous void in a family that was so close-knit and interfered with us,
Tony, what is your understanding right now of the progress in the murder investigation, and what's behind that bid directly to the president for answers?
Well, we are requesting that the president takes the initiative to go beyond making the wonderful statements. We appreciate the statements that the president is making, that is working on protecting whistleblowers and eradicating corruption in government. But I think what we need to do is we need to see a lot of action. A lot of these things that are spoken out there, we need to see action. For the past 4 years, unfortunately, we as the Deokaran family, Babita's family, we feel let down because we don't hear anything about the investigations. We are not kept in the loop as to what's happening. To us, sometimes we just get the impression that the case has been closed. Dockets have been closed because we are not hearing anybody. Nobody's telling us anything. So we don't know what's happening. And, we are hopeful. We are hopeful that something is going to come to light now. Very especially after recently Lieutenant General Makwananzi brought to fore a lot of allegations of corruption in government. So we are hoping that the Special Investigation Unit and the National Prosecuting Authorities are now going to pay serious attention to these allegations.
We certainly hope, Tony, that you and the family get the answers that you need. It's not just for yourselves. As you said,
yes,
This is something that is for all South Africans, being able to blow the whistle against corruption and to get real change, and those who are responsible to be held accountable. What message would you and the family like to share with other whistleblowers, families who might have, suffered severe consequences in the aftermath of their actions, and those who might be watching this interview this morning and thinking twice, Tony, about coming forward?
Well, as a family, we would first of all like to say that we appreciate the fact that there are government officials out there or people out there that are prepared to speak for that which is right, to stand up for truth. And our family appreciates people like that. And we want to say that our prayers, our thoughts, and our support are with these families and the officials who are known now as whistleblowers. We feel for you, and we realize that it's a dangerous thing to be a whistleblower, very especially today, looking at the climate of our government and the things that are taking place right now in the public domain. But what we are saying is, be courageous, stand up for that which is right, and someday we believe that the truth must prevail. Truth must prevail. So we are encouraging you, and we are saying you, please don't be deterred, don't be discouraged because of the fact that your life is at danger. But we are also at the same time making an appeal to the president and to authorities that are responsible for safekeeping and protection of whistleblowers to do the right thing. To do the right thing, to protect the whistleblowers, to not leave them out there all alone on their own.
Tony, is there a special thing, maybe a dish that Babita enjoyed, or the way that the family gathers to commemorate? So what are you and the family doing, today or tomorrow, this weekend?
Well, tomorrow is the 4th anniversary And the first thing that the family will be doing is members of our family will be gathering at the site of this gruesome act at her former home. And on that site, our family will be offering prayers and a laying of a wreath as well there. And the family in Durban will be gathering together. Actually, there's a book now that has been written on her life, and it's called The Shadow State. Why did Babita Deokaran had to die? This book is written by the investigative journalist Jeff Wicks, to whom we are very, very grateful as a family. The launch of the book is taking place, and a lot of mention will be given to the launch of the book, which is at the end of this month. As a fact, the book is already out in many of the bookstores. It's out there for sale, and it talks about the life of Babita, and also talk about all the evil that is taking place in government, and especially what happened in Tembisa Hospital and Gauteng Health Department in 2021.